The elevator doors open on a floor that doesn't exist. 2:34 a.m., and the panel between 12 and 14 glows a number nobody admits is there. A hand stops the doors from closing, my hand, on the other side of the threshold. The car hums like a throat about to speak. The hall past the gap is a strip of old paint, unlit exit sign, linoleum damp as a held tongue. Somebody breathes through the vent above my head with the patience of a person who has already been here too long. On the station board a rule curls at the corners. Do not ride the elevator after 2:33. If it stops on 13, keep the doors open and leave. I held that card this afternoon and laughed because our tower skips 13 like a superstition at church. Then a storm knocked power stupid, and the crash cart went out on 7, and I pressed the call button to get to my mother's room faster. The indicator climbed, for 5, 6, 7, 8. It stalled, coughed, slid past 9 and 10 like it didn't agree with them anymore. Somewhere a relay shook itself awake and said, "Fine." The fan cut out. The light changed from hospital white to a yellow I learned in childhood kitchens. Do not look up when the bell dings. Leon told me once, coffee steam between us, a joke that wasn't a joke. If you see the number change, it sees you change. Leon fell on the stairs last winter. I keep hearing him call my name on nights with weather. The bell dings. I look up anyway because that's what we do when we were told not to. The 13 glows soft as meat behind gauze. On the security camera above the door, the little gray screen with a fisheye view of the car, 2 of me stand under the same light. I shift right, one stays. The one near the doors lifts his hand and lets them close a little, curious, testing the weight of my disobedience. The rubber gaskets kiss my knuckles. A cold goes from skin into bone as if the building is inhaling me. My radio hisses nothing. Then my mother's voice steps out of it young and unhurt. "Nurse." That voice makes the elevator small, then smaller. I push the door open button until the plastic creaks like an apology. The doors inch and stop, an open mouth that never intends to bite or speak. Floor 13 smells like pennies melted into the shine. A nurse's shoe squeaks once in the black, then doesn't. I lean and see that the exit sign says XAT in mirrored red like it has been seeing itself too long. "Do not step through," Leon says from the tiny speaker above my head, friendly as he was on his last night. "If you go alone, it makes another to come back for you." The hand in the seam spreads its fingers like mine do when I'm calling for a bed to move. It belongs to a me that stood in this door before I got here. He keeps the doors from closing. He watches me with nothing I can see. I understand the rule then. Keep the doors open and leave. Not exit. Back. Leave yourself. "Mom," I say, and my breath fogs the panel. The door close light blinks of its own mind, steady as a pulse. "Alex," the radio says, in my voice this time calm, practiced. "All staff remain on unit." The car buttons change under my palm. 7 goes faint. 13 brightens. Not a number but a coin that wants an eye. I press lobby because it feels like refusing. The car settles its weight, thinks, then slides forward a fraction like agreeing to disagree. The doors unpeel wider. The hallway beyond has no people and too many steps. Will tracks ghost off into a drift of gray. A bed call chimes from far down, warped into a child's whistle. I see my mother's blue robe sleeve snag the corner and vanish as if she took a wrong turn in a dream. I lunge. The gap holds me by the hips and breathes cold into my pockets. My hand catches the metal jam and leaves sweat like a signature. The other me, door me, leans with me equal, exact. Our fingers touch on the same cold. The friction is wrong, like pressing palms with laminated paper. A second bell dings, much nearer. The tiny car camera shows the elevator from a foot lower, like a child is filming my knees. The 13 on the panel flicks, then winks out, replaced by a blank nothing that still counts. The emergency phone drawer slides open by itself with a sound like a throat deciding. I lift the receiver. No dial tone. Just that hum the building makes when it wants. I say, "Stop," and the word doesn't belong to my side. It belongs to the doors, and so they do. The gap freezes on a breath you cannot finish. From inside the ceiling a footstep crosses the car roof. Then 3 more, pace to my heart. Dust ribbons down like snow. Something kneels above the light and listens hard enough to warm the fixture. On the threshold, a wheelchair eases into view sideways, nudged by a hand that isn't there. His wheels are clean, too clean in all this old dust. Draped over the back is my mother's robe. I know the burn mark where she spilled tea in March. The chair waits just beyond the rubber edge, as patient as a new room. The intercom says, kindly, arriving. It is Lena's voice from the GPS in my pickup, corrected to hospital polite. Arriving at home. I step back. The other me lets the doors close a hair. The room breathes louder when the slit is thinner. The panel at my elbow shows 12. The car does not move. The 12 blinks once, becomes 13, then 1, then 3 like a kid sounding out a word. I put my palm to the open button and think of my mother's hand on my cheek when I was fevered. You will keep your promises, she said, and made it sound like a story I would choose. I promised I would not leave her alone in storms, that I would not ride the elevator after 2:33, that I would come back even if the building learned my name. I press and hold. The doors draw back enough to admit a breath and an idea. Cold gray air slips around me, carrying a smell I do not want to remember. Granulated sugar overheated. Wet wool left too long. Hands being washed again and again, harder. A shape steps into the car from a place I cannot see. It stands where the mirror should show me and refuses to be reflected. It wears my scrubs like they were printed instead of stitched. It lifts its hand in a soft request and touches the 7 with my finger. The light for 13 brightens anyway. Don't, Leon says somewhere above or inside the cable or in the old grease. If you let it pick the floor, it picks you. The doors sigh open all the way, fragile surrender. The hallway beyond is brighter now, but the light has no source. On the right, a nurse's station exists the way an old photograph does, a deep flatness with people in it, each of them me with different days on. One of me looks up and smiles like we share a secret we will never say out loud. My mother sits in the wheelchair, hands folded, waiting like she did for me after school. Her face is both ages at once. Her eyes find me and widen, then find the other me and forgive him first. Which one are you? She asks very gently. The car answers for me. The indicator blinks 13 in a way that cannot be unseen. The other me takes her chair and turns it toward the bright that is not light. He does not look back. He presses the door close with my knuckle. As the doors kiss, the mirror above the panel shows my left eye round and white as a clock. In the last sliver of hallway, I see my name tag on his chest reversed into something I don't read until the doors seal the lesson.